In 1984, Donald Trump personally signed the paperwork while a Russian mafia figure handed him $6 million in cash for 5 condos in Trump Tower. State prosecutors later concluded those units were purchased to launder money. Trump was in the room. He signed the deed. No charges were ever filed. That transaction became the template for everything that followed. A powerful man, dirty money, and a pen. In 2021, Jared Kushner walked out of the White House with no investment track record, no financial industry experience, and a fund called Affinity Partners with 0 assets under management. 6 months later, Saudi Arabia's public investment fund wired $2 billion into Affinity, overruling its own investment committee, which had rated Affinity's operations as unsatisfactory across every measurable category. The UAE added $200 million. Qatar added $200 million. Today, 99% of Affinity's $3 billion in assets under management comes from Gulf governments. Kushner collected $157 million in management fees, including $87 million directly from the Saudi government, while making 0 investments. Then Qatar gave Trump a plane. The White House approached Qatar first. They asked the Qatari government for a Boeing 747-8 to serve as Air Force One while Boeing's replacement aircraft were delayed. Qatar said yes. The retrofitting cost is being drawn directly from the Sentinel-WE CBM nuclear missile program's budget. The United States is defunding its nuclear weapons modernization to upgrade a presidential jet, paid for by a foreign government. What did the Gulf get in return? On May 13, 2025, Trump flew to Riyadh. At the table with him, MBS, Elon Musk, Sam Altman, and the CEOs of IBM, Citigroup, BlackRock, and Blackstone. Saudi Arabia pledged $600 billion in U.S. investment, including a $142 billion arms deal, the largest single-arm sale in American history. American weapons, American military cover, and a war in Iran that every Gulf state had been pushing for privately for years. The Iran conflict drove oil to $114 a barrel. American gas passed $4 a gallon. The Saudi royals got the war they wanted. Kushner collected $157 million. The transaction was complete. Sheldon Adelson donated over $200 million to Trump-aligned political efforts across 2 election cycles. In return, the United States moved its embassy to Jerusalem, a decision that overturned decades of American foreign policy consensus, triggered riots across the Middle East, and cost the U.S. significant diplomatic standing with Arab allies. The receipts on that transaction are public and straightforward, but the Epstein angle runs deeper, and it connects to Israel in ways that have never been fully prosecuted. Jeffrey Epstein ran a sexual blackmail operation for decades, trafficking underage girls to powerful men and recording those encounters. Trump and Epstein were publicly closed throughout the late 1980s and 1990s. Trump told New York Magazine in 2002 that Epstein was a terrific guy whom he had known for 15 years, adding that Epstein liked beautiful women as much as he did, many of them on the younger side. In 2016, a woman filed a lawsuit alleging that Trump and Epstein both raped her at a party in 1994 when she was 13 years old. The case was dropped after she received death threats. Epstein's primary handler was Ghislaine Maxwell, whose father was Robert Maxwell, a British media mogul and confirmed Mossad asset. After Robert Maxwell died in 1991, Israeli intelligence figures attended his funeral in Jerusalem alongside 6 serving and former heads of Israeli intelligence. Investigative journalist Seymour Hersh, former Israeli intelligence officials, and the Netflix documentary Epstein's Shadow have all drawn direct lines between Ghislaine Maxwell, Mossad, and the intelligence function of the blackmail network. Ari Ben-Menashe, a former Israeli intelligence officer, stated directly that both Robert Maxwell and Ghislaine Maxwell worked for Israeli intelligence. The network's purpose, in that reading, was to leverage production, photographs and recordings of powerful men that could be activated whenever needed. When Epstein was arrested in 2019, Trump's labor secretary, Alex Acosta, had already given him the most lenient plea deal in the history of federal sex trafficking cases back in 2008. A deal Acosta later described by saying he had been told Epstein belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone. Epstein died in federal custody in August 2019. The official ruling was suicide. The two guards assigned to watch him both fell asleep. The surveillance cameras malfunctioned. The autopsy physician hired by Epstein's family concluded the injuries were more consistent with homicide than hanging. No one has been charged. The client list has never been released. In Trump's second term, the Abraham Accords framework continued to reshape the region. Those agreements normalized Arab-Israeli relations without resolving the Palestinian question, allowing Gulf states to purchase American weapons and Israeli technology without any political cost. The Palestinian population was not consulted. Their political status was the bargaining chip. Trump's administration greenlit weapons transfers to Israel during the active military campaign in Gaza, bypassing the standard State Department review process designed to assess civilian harm. Kushner publicly floated the idea of turning Gaza into prime oceanfront real estate. The statement drew international condemnation and was never walked back. American foreign policy in the region runs on donor logic, and the donors are not Palestinian. On January 20th, 2025, Inauguration Day, the front rows were filled with the most powerful technology executives in the world. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Sundar Pichai, Shouzi Chu. They were not there as guests, they were there as stakeholders. 3 days later, Trump signed Executive Order 14,179, revoking Biden's entire AI oversight framework in a single stroke. On December 11, 2025, he signed a second order blocking states from enforcing their own AI consumer protection laws, threatening to cut federal broadband funding from any state that maintained independent AI oversight. Every guardrail Americans had built on AI development is gone. Every state law protecting consumers from algorithmic discrimination, surveillance, and data exploitation was nullified. What the tech companies received in exchange. Palantir's federal contracts nearly doubled from $541 million in 2024 to $970 million in 2025. Musk's companies accumulated $11.8 billion across 7 federal agencies. The White House contracted Palantir to construct a master database on American citizens, pulling records simultaneously from the IRS, Social Security, immigration files, and multiple other agencies. The company that received $970 million in government contracts is now building surveillance infrastructure on the people whose tax dollars funded those contracts. Stephen Miller, the chief architect of Trump's immigration policy, holds a substantial financial stake in Palantir. He is directing the exact policy that Palantir is being paid to execute. Trump then opened America's 17 national laboratories, including exascale supercomputers and decades of taxpayer-funded scientific research, to OpenAI, Google, NVIDIA, and Oracle for commercial exploitation. He created a Tech Force program where government employees rotate through Amazon, Apple, Google, Microsoft, NVIDIA, OpenAI, Oracle, and Palantir, with those companies committed to hiring them afterward. The people who manage government contracts go to work for the companies receiving those contracts. The revolving door is the architecture, not the malfunction.